Solve 3 times the absolute value of x minus 1 equals 5. I'm going to rewrite this over here so that we have a bit more room to work with it. But just like the previous problems, our goal is to isolate the absolute value before we split it up into two equations. To get the absolute value alone, we have to add 1 to get rid of that 1. This leaves us with 3 times the absolute value of x minus 1 equals 6. And then to get the absolute value alone, because it's currently being multiplied by 3, we have to divide both sides by 3. This leaves us with the absolute value of x minus 1 equals 2. And now we have the absolute value alone. Just a quick note, there are students who often try and take the 3 and distribute it inside the absolute value. You have to be careful though, because absolute value symbols are different than regular grouping symbols like parentheses or brackets. Absolute value symbols represent something different, something more than that, and so we can't always use the distributive property in the same way with them. In this case, it would have actually worked out okay, but if we had a negative number on the outside that we tried to distribute on the inside, that would cause some real problems. So instead of really worrying about the different situations, I usually tell my students just not to distribute when we have absolute value symbols, and instead try to get the absolute value symbols alone, which also matches the advice that we've been working with this whole time. So with these problems, it's a little bit better if you don't distribute into the absolute value, and instead just focus on getting the absolute value alone. Once we've isolated the absolute value, then we're in a position to split it up and find the solutions. Here, this would give us x minus 1 equals 2, or x minus 1 equals negative 2. To get x alone, we need to add 1 to both sides of the equation. This gives us x equals 3 for the first one, and for the second one, this gives us x equals negative 1. So our solution is that x equals 3 or x equals negative 1.